Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good to see y'all. Let's see. Soaring Free. You number one in here tonight. All right. There you go. And Brat number two. All right. Good evening, PG. How is little man doing? Much love. God bless. Summer Moon Utah Wells. Prayers and love for her. Everyone in chat, prayers and love. And for Miss Norway, prayers and love. Amen. I wonder where Miss Norway's been. I miss her and I haven't seen her in a while. Charlene, you're number three, girl. There you go. And Deputy Sheriff number four. There, amen. All right. Deputy's been coming in at the top lately. God bless. And let's see who else is in here tonight. Oh, Spiritness, I appreciate that. Absolutely. Became a YouTube member. Amen. I appreciate that. Ruby Rainmaker, how you doing, sweetie? Miss Justice, good to see you. Hasty, how you doing? Patty Allen. Summer's Angel, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Lori, Sue. Let's see who else. Hey, Shy, how you doing? And yeah, that is hilarious. Deputy Sheriff, that is hilarious. Right. Hey, Texas Blue 22. How you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you. Debbie, there you are, girl. Hey, Dartmouth. Good to see you. Purple Hearts for Summer. Amen. All right. And PG is at the bottom. I am at the bottom tonight. All right. I wanted to come in and hang out with you all. I got from last night. I had some unhappy campers. Right. PG had some unhappy campers. And anyway, they I don't know why people want to be, hey Coupon Mama, how you doing tonight? I don't know why they want to, hate on the messenger. I'm nothing but the messenger. There was like this one lady, she's like, if you feel that Summer is over there in that cemetery and down in that particular grave, why ain't you calling law enforcement and TBIs and the feds? Why ain't you sitting on the phone 24/7 calling them up, telling them about it? Excuse me? What goes through some of these people's minds out there? I'm like, seriously? Listen, there ain't nothing wrong with your hands and fingers, because you sure didn't have no problem using them mother freakers to type up your ugly comment, right? Absolutely not. So, you heard it just like everybody else did, right out of the mouth, right out of the mouth of suspects. I can't say they're number one suspects because that would be Candace, Grandis, and Donald. But they are suspects because Jody Sue lied about a scream that, law enforcement was absolutely positive she lied because they dismissed it, right? So, with that being said, it was unfounded. Unfounded, meaning found to not be true. Um, they didn't believe her. And they had damn good reason because she made it all up. So law enforcement, law enforcement knew they wasn't going to look that stupid. They weren't going about to look that stupid. Anyhow, it came right out of the mouths of Jody Sue in a Discord, and then right out of the mouth of Andy Bernard, which, he really elaborated on it, right? He elaborated about all of it. And when he elaborated, well, it wasn't hard to tell that he had said it before, right? And if he, had it that rehearsed and said it before, well, he wasn't saying it out here. So where was he saying it? I would think to Dawn, Candace and Grandis, Jody Sue, Fred Hills and Laura's, when they was grouping up, and Chad Arnold's and all of them planning all of this out. I'd say that's where, he said it, where he rehearsed it, whether it be his brain function or somebody else's that came up with that, brilliant plan, to do. Point being is, you could tell he was well rehearsed on it. And he elaborated something fierce upon it as well. And therefore that makes me think more than likely that's where she is. Because he definitely, talked as if he knew what the hell he's talking about. And this is something, something you don't get out of these, suspects very often. And if they're talking like they know what they're talking about, then they probably fucking do. And, so that's what leads me to believe, that's more likely where she's at. But this woman's like, oh, and you need to make them run an investigation. Lady, I'm not Ronnie Lawson, okay? I'm not the head sheriff down there in Rogersville, Tennessee. If I was, this case would be solved. But I'm not. And the point being is, I can't make them run anything, right? It's an open investigation as it is. I cannot make them. All you can do is give them the leads. And if they don't go after it, that isn't our fault. That's theirs. If they're not following something that number one suspects was given out, what can you do? What can you do? You can't do nothing about it. They weren't even chasing the leads on Dawn and Candace. What makes you think they're going to chase the leads on Andy and Jody Sue's, Fred's, Laura's, Chad Arnold's? It's insane. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Don't blame PG for that. We turned all of this in, right? Matter of fact, Australia, was one of them, along with myself and a couple other YouTubers. One in particular that's asked me, that they just want to stay in the shadows, and I don't blame them. And they're from Tennessee. They're from Tennessee. But we've all, did our part. We did our part to turn in the information and, give the lead. And you have to leave it up to law enforcement at that point. When you call Rogersville and you tell them, and you call TBI and you tell them, and you call the feds and, give them what information you have. There's nothing more you can do. Nothing more you can do. You've done all you can do. And, these people are like, PG said it. No, PG didn't say it. 2 suspects off of Ben Hill Road said it. They lived right across the road. They was affiliating those asses with the Wells all the time. That's who said it. Don't put words in PG's mouth. Right? I don't know who that lady was. I really don't care. But don't be putting words in PG's mouth. I won't tolerate that shit. Like I told her, she should be thanking PG for all that I've been out here doing for summer. She should be thanking me. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that loves and cares for summer. Everybody. It is everybody's business. When a child comes up missing, a child is abused or comes up missing, it becomes the world's problem. Not America. Not just like Jack and Lily over in Canada. It's not just Canada's problem. It's the whole world's problem. We should not have children missing anywhere. Children should be protected. They should be taken care of. They are our future. And they should be treated with the utmost kindness, love, and respect. They are gifts from God. And we're supposed to be taking care of them righteously. And we're supposed to be making sure that other people are taking care of them righteously. It might be their kid. But those kids are our future. It might be their kids. But it is our taxpayer dollars being spent like crazy when someone abuses, mistreats, and especially makes a child disappear. That's a lot of money out of our pockets that we cannot afford just because people want to be evil and destroy a child. So yes, it is our damn business. And it is everyone's job to be reporting what they see and hear and know. You see something, say something. But that lady tried to isolate it to PG. I'm like, no. You ain't going to do that. You ain't going to do that. I ain't going to allow it. And yeah, I told her I hope her life is as crappy as her damn comment. Right? That her whole mother freaking life is crappy as her comment. I'm going to tell you, PG has been here, rain and shine, sleet or snow. I've been better than the United States Post Office carriers when it comes to Summer's case. I've been here day and night. At one point, at one point, up until about the fourth year, I don't think I missed a day. I don't think I missed a day. I was here even on Friday. Even on Friday, I was here. I started taking the Fridays off because I observed the 7th, and I'm going to observe the 7th. I need to keep that holy. And out here in the YouTube world, you can't do it. I can't come in here on Friday and get all upset because evil people are doing evil things. And I think everybody needs a day of rest. Everyone. That's just my opinion, and I know I do. But other than that, I was here 24/7, 7/24, whatever way they want it to be. I was here. But the point is, over the last few months, it ain't that I wouldn't like to be here. I like to be here all the time, and I'm pretty much, been here pretty regularly here lately. Since I've got little man on a schedule, right? I got him on a schedule. I put him down. He's going to sleep for a few hours. I'm going to be able to come in here and talk about these missing kids and do everything we can to keep this moving forward. And I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't mind doing what I do. But I want to tell you what, I'm not going to put up with crappy comments from Felicia, right? It's like, bye, Felicia. I'm not going to be putting up with it. Move it on down the street. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, just don't say nothing at all. Felicia should have been picking up that damn phone and reporting that stuff herself instead of commenting and complaining and acting like it's everybody else's job but hers. What the hell you out here for? What the hell, why the hell are you even in a true crime community? Because a true crime community is where everyone is connected as one for the missing children. Everybody joins in. Everybody is a voice for the voiceless. Everybody should be calling. Everybody should be doing their part, right? It shouldn't be left up to one person. Why should one person have to carry everything, right? You know how hard it was for Jesus to carry his cross? They made him carry his own cross too, right? After a bunch of haters attacked him, beat him up and everything else. And that's what it's like being out here with these haters coming at you sideways. And I don't mind packing my cross. But they need to pack theirs too. They need to be packing theirs. Don't be trying to lay it on PG shoulders. Because I'm already getting beat up, right? I got haters coming at me left and right from day one out here. And it took a lot to stand against those people. Back them up where they belong. But we did it. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to tell you something. I ain't packing no haters cross. That hater that wrote something ugly needs to pack their own cross. And they need to get out of this community if they're not going, if they're not going to use those fingers for more than writing hateful comments. Some crappy comments. And it ain't going to be tolerated. And then she wanted to, act like it's because I believe it. Well, I'm going to tell you, for Summer's sake, I'm going to believe whatever I need to get it looked into. Because Summer deserves that. Then somebody last night was talking about that's some strong accusations. Let me tell you something. Do you not think that is some strong evilness that destroyed 4 children and one's completely missing? Do you think that it ain't some strong evilness that destroyed 2 children over in Wisconsin, another one over in Arkansas, and 4 more in Tennessee? Honey, that ain't accusations. That's the damn truth. And that's what you're going to get here. Because I'm going to be perfectly honest. Everybody that's been with PG from day one, with this channel, that's part of this family, knows that when you come here, you're going to get the truth. And you're going to get the truth because PG's the only creator out here that doesn't care to put it on the table. Because I don't walk on eggs, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Because you know what? I don't care about clicks and likes and views. I don't care. If I hurt those haters' feelings by telling the truth. The truth hurts. It's hard to listen to. And I understand. I fully understand that you've got to pretty much be a child of God and a decent, upright human being to be able to hear and withstand the truth. And you've got to be highly intelligent to understand that only the truth is going to bring these children home. Only the truth is going to prosecute up the right people who could do such an evil, dirty deed. But these people ain't going to get prosecuted up unless someone has enough backside to call them out for who and what they are. And I'm going to tell you out here, you're not going to find that backside. Because these people are too into walking on eggshells for, for whatever reasons. Most of the time is in order to kiss the backside of suspects so that they think they can get some information. And all they get handed is a handful of crap. That's what they get. And there ain't a lick of damn truth to it. And they're running around the mulberry bush while these sick, evil people are mother freaking laughing at them, listening to them tell the damn lies that they got told. And that didn't help the child at all. Didn't help the child at all. Yeah, people flock in. People flock in to hear it. But it didn't help the child. It helped her channel. It gave the evil people who said it a good chuckle and a laugh. But it didn't help the victim. Right? And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I refuse to run around mulberry bushes when there's a child out there somewhere needing to be found. When there's a child out there wishing that someone, anyone, would have helped them, could have helped them, could have saved them. They were praying for a rescuer and didn't get it. And did not get it. In their darkest hour, they was praying to be found, to be saved. Do you think that wish went away? When life went away in them? Do you think that wish left? No. It didn't. That child went out of this world wanting to be found, and it still wants to be found. That child wants its story told. It wants the people that it loved on this earth to know the truth, to what happened to it. That child does not want another child done the way it was done. That child wants justice, just like anyone else would want if it happened to them. And that's what we do. We keep going back and coming forward and going back and coming forward, trying to figure out how can we get the truth for these children. What are we missing? What are we missing? What is the one little thing we could find that could crack the case. Especially in a case like Summers. Especially in a case like Summers, because you got all of these people running their mouths. And when people run their mouths the way this group of people have ran their mouths, somewhere in all of that mouth running holds the truth. And it tells us where. It basically, they told you where Summer is. They told us how Summer was, was done. They told us why it was done. I mean, they've already, told Summer's story. It's just, where is that piece? What did we miss? What did we miss? That could just totally solve this case. And that's why you got to keep going back and listening to people you don't want to listen to. Look for things that you may have missed. And if you really care, you'll put in the time and you'll do it. God knows I have. Absolutely, Patty, we do. It's not easy coming out here every night talking about tragedy, especially when that tragedy is happening to innocent little children. Innocent. What has a child ever done to anybody that can cause them to be so evil to a child? Because I'm going to tell you something. I've been around a lot of children in my life. A lot. We all have. We all went to school. We all been around family, friends, our own children. We've been around tons and tons of children, and I ain't ever seen a child that I didn't like. Not one. Not even one. And how someone could hurt a child, I don't even know. You know, a lot of people, I've heard some people say, I don't like that kid. You know what I tell them? It ain't that kid you don't like. It's the parents. That's what you don't like. It's the parent. Because children are nothing but an image of what is raising them. Right? So if you meet up with a child that says stuff, that says ugly things, right? Says ugly things to you, it ain't that child you don't like. It's what's raising them. You know now who and what the parents are. Because that little child doesn't want to dislike anybody. It's just what it is. They don't have no blame. That's right, see? No blame. Yeah, they are. They are. I don't blame children for anything. Anything. Trust and believe me. But tonight, I want to talk about Hunter. I want to talk about why law enforcement didn't do their job properly. I want to talk about why Chris was able to go and do more than law enforcement did. Why was Chris able to go sit on a porch and have a full-blown conversation and observe what law enforcement should have been doing? That's what I'd like to know. Why is YouTubers more involved and more caring and able to collect more information than law enforcement in Rogersville, Tennessee? That's a question. That's a question. Why ain't they doing their job? YouTubers do their job, right? YouTubers do their job. They go and stick their nose in everybody's business in and around the case. We are making phone calls to these people's aunts and uncles, brothers, sisters, grandma, grandpas, if they're still around. We're calling up 90-year-old people in the middle of the night, trying to get the information we need in order to help a missing child. We catch a lot of hate for what we do. But why wasn't law enforcement doing it? That's their job. That's their job. We're supposed to just be reporters. We're just supposed to be reporting the case and keeping up on the case. We're supposed to be keeping up with law enforcement, what law enforcement knows, and how they're going to solve the case. We're not supposed to be trying to solve it, but we do, because law enforcement ain't, right? Prime example, right here on this channel, a mom and dad reaches out to us, says, PG, we got a missing daughter. We can't find her. Can you help? Well, me and another YouTuber stayed up all night, after I called Sullivan County, right? Talked to the law enforcement there that told me that if I wanted her found, I needed to find her, right? Told me I need to do their job. I didn't see that as a problem. I seen that as a challenge, right? A lot of people saw it as a problem. and hung up. I saw it as a challenge. Oh, you want us to solve it, huh? And we stayed up all night and we solved it, didn't we? We went back to the pictures. We found the people, and there were some dangerous people, right? Real dangerous people. One guy, really dangerous. And we looked and we matched picture after picture till we figured out exactly where that first picture came from. We said, bingo, this is where she is. And the parents got a phone call. They called law enforcement, met up at that particular place, at that particular friend's house, and got their daughter safe and back home, right? We did the job. So if you don't think that creators out here can do what law enforcement can't or won't, you're wrong. You're wrong. We brought that little girl home, and we need to do everything we can to bring these other missing children home as well. Right? That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. And I think that Felicia should have been thanking us instead of writing some nasty freaking low-life comment. I'm going to tell you, she either needs to join us or start stepping, right? Start stepping, Felicia. But I have done some diligence in Summer's case. I've done some extensive research, right? Extensive. It ain't just finding pictures, blowing them up, looking them over. You got to have the time frames. You got to know the lighting. There's a whole lot to what you're doing. You got to know what contrast will bring out what you're looking for and what contrast won't. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's hours, not minutes. It's hours, and sometimes can turn into days, maybe a couple weeks if the process is long. If there's a certain thing you're looking for, it could take a while. And you got to diligently keep at it because you want to give up. Sometimes you just want to throw in the towel. You're looking for a specific thing from a specific person, and you're listening to hours and hours and hours of their ugly voice, especially Jody Sue. right? And there is no Klondike bar. None. Not even one that would fit on a football field, corner to corner, worth listening to her. I don't give a damn how much chocolate's on it. It ain't worth listening to her, right? But you got to do it. You got to keep the main focus. You got to keep in your head why you're here, why you're doing it. You have to keep this child, a picture of this little child that's so beautiful and innocent in your mind, and what horrible, disgusting, treacherous things that these evil bastards did to it, and how much they deserve to be put away, and that child deserves to be found. You got to keep that in your mind in order to keep going. Because you cannot give up on that baby. You cannot give up on a child who is depending on you. And these children are dependent on all of us. They ain't just dependent on PG. They're dependent on every last one of us. Every last one of us to be a voice for them, to be there for them, to help them, to make the call that needs to be made in order to make what's being said stronger and action to be taken. We are a chain of reaction for these children. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't do no good for one or two people to sign a petition. It takes a whole damn community of humans to sign that petition to get something done in that community. And that's what we are. A community for the missing out here. And it takes every damn one of us to be making those calls and to be demanding something be looked into, or it won't get done. That's what I'm saying. One person isn't enough. That's why you need a whole community of people. You got to have a lot of people working together as one. You want law enforcement to get over in that cemetery and check that grave because they didn't on June the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and then it was too late. Well, everybody, including Felicia, needs to be making the call, right? Even Felicia needs to be saying, look, I recorded Andy Bernard going mayhem, giving way more information than a human should for something that isn't there. And that's what makes me believe she is. It's because of the way he went on. And right here, I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to play it for you so you listen. And then play it. Where Andy's talking about the cemetery, and he's always heard that's the best place. And there was an open grave over there, the big blue tent. And he believes she was put in it before they even called law enforcement because he knew it was open. It was the perfect timing. And they wouldn't have been looking. That's the last place they would have ever looked. It would have been a real throw off. They'd have been walking all around it instead of looking in it. And he's right. And he's right. And law enforcement knows he's right. And now, therefore, they should be checking it. Right? Because it came out of a suspect's mouth who has a wife that lied about the damn scream. And if she's in cahoots with the Wells enough to lie about a scream, then that gravesite needs to be looked into. Because it came out of her old man's mouth, right? And her mouth too. Early on in a Discord. There you go. That's what Felicia needed to do. And I could tell her, well, I did, what she could do with her comment, right? To say the least, PG is very tired. I'm very, very tired these days. My patience is not as patient as it once was. So comments like that, those kind of actions is going to get a reaction from me. But I'm going to move to what I came in here for tonight, because I think law enforcement couldn't be this stupid. I don't think any law enforcement in this world could be this fucking stupid. That's just my opinion. I'm going to keep it. It's actually very upsetting. Hey, Bridget, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Hello, hello to you. It's good to see you, girlfriend, for real. But they are. You know, I have to ask myself, was this purposely done? Was it purposely done? Because I just cannot. I mean, there's no way I can believe that law enforcement didn't do what needed to be done to solve Summer's case. I cannot believe that they sit there and allowed so much evidence to be swept under the damn carpet. So much evidence not even looked into, right? Now, I'm going to start it. I'm going to start it right now. We're going to run through it real quick. Right here, these are pictures of Summer Moon, Utah Wells. As you can see, These pictures are early on when she had her hair shaved. As you can see, it was really just barely starting to come back in some of these pictures here. And you can also see, you know, the summer's decline. Um, After she got her hair shaved off, you can see, you know, the the darkness under her eyes. You can see the weight loss, you know, coming on. She started losing her body mass. Um, you know, over leading up leading up to June the 15th. But as you see, she's got fingernails. Look, where she's holding up the peace sign, the one hand, you can see the nail tip right there. She's got nails. Where she's got the candy bag, you can see that she has little nails. She's holding this bag. She's got little fingernails. That's what I wanted to show everybody. Yes, she's got some fingernails. Now, I'm going to move it on. Here, this is right before you can see her hair right here. We're starting to go back in. So this lets us know that this is right before they took her to the swimming hole on June 15th, 2021. We can tell that this, was a recent picture of Summer. And she has fingernails. Take a look. She's holding the fishing pole, and you can see she has little fingernails there. And you could tell her fingernails are not black. They are not discolored in any way. You can see her head where it is not discolored in any way. No bruising, no blue bruising on her face or head at all. That's what I want you guys to see. You can see that she's still dark under the eyes. She's still very thin, but she's trying to make the best of it. She's trying to make the best of her condition, as any child will. There's very sick children, very sick. I have had my children, when they were younger, right? Um, 4, 5, 6 years old. Um, they get a real bad cold or something, flu season going around. They would get, where they wasn't feeling well, and they still tried to color. They still tried to play. They still wanted to go. You take them to doctor. Hey, do you feel up good enough to, stop by the mall or somewhere to pick up a toy? You was really good at the doctors. You deserve a gift. So you want to go get your kid something, for being so good with the doctor, so good with taking the medicine. And that kid's like perks up. Yeah, they're ready to go, and they're excited to pick up a toy, and they feel like crap. I mean, if it was an adult feeling like that, they'd be like, no, 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 I want to go home. Just take me home. I don't want to stop nowhere, right? Just want to go home. Not a kid. A kid's like, yeah, let's go to a playground. Let's go to a store, get me some toys. Let's go, they kids are like that. I don't, I guess it's a blessing from God that they make, even in their darkest hours, they try to make the best of it. And this little girl, she was going through some dark times, had been going through some really dark times. praying, praying for someone to save her, someone to help her, but that didn't come. That didn't come, right? In June the 15th, 2021, I think Jesus came, put out his hand. He saved Summer. He did what Ben Hill Road couldn't do, right? Oh, yeah. I got pics of her nail bids. Even at church, they call themselves Christians. You know, Robin. Robin likes to walk around with her head up like, like she's the fucking Queen of Sheba in the church house, right? Like she's so freaking holier than thou. She's such a wonderful, good person. No, Robin, you're not. No, you ain't. A blind man could have seen that the Wells children needed help. A blind man could have seen what was going on. You were too coward to step in. You did not have enough ass to step in and report what you knew in order to help these children. You knew they shaved that little girl completely bald for some ungodknown reason because her brothers still all had hair. And you still did not report it to Child Protective Services. You did not take time to talk to Summer, learn who Summer was, and what Summer was enduring and going through. You are a fake human being. You want everybody to believe you're such a great person when you're not. When you're not. You couldn't help her before, and you couldn't help her after. And you had a chance. You had a chance. You had a better chance than anyone. You and that church had a better chance than anyone to save those children, and you didn't. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody that you're armored up, Robin, because you are not armored up at all. People that's armored up are strong enough to stand against evilness and put it in its damn place and save the righteous, which is this little girl right here. You had that opportunity and you done nothing. You done nothing. Allison done nothing. Jody, Sue, and Andy's done nothing. Fred and Laura done nothing. Chad Arnold, Marlena Crawford, all of these freaking trash bags done nothing. I'm going to tell you what, all of those people ain't nothing but a waste of skin and bones. Trust me, I know. I want to let them know cowards don't get into heaven. Oh, what was going on with those kids weren't your business. You should have made it your business. You should have made it your business. And you should have made it your business so our taxpayer dollars wouldn't have had to be spent trying to find this little girl and save her brothers. Because they all could have been saved. And our tax money too. If you'd have just put on your suit of armor, stood up against that evilness, and did what needed to be done. Right? Exactly. But here's Summer. Take a good look at her, Robin. Take a good look at her. Look at her little fingernails. Look at them turning. They're already turning blue. At the nail beds, they are already starting to turn. And the whole nail was turning. And if you look at the top of her hand, it's already turning blue as well, right there by her sleeve. Right? The hand by the milk jugs. The hand over by the milk jugs. Already bruised above the thumb. Both sides of her head, where there's, even though there's makeup on her, you could tell she's got makeup on, trying to cover up the bluing. And even through the makeup, you can see that she's no longer with us. That don't take a rocket scientist to figure out. That just takes a damn good set of eyeballs. Right? And a little common sense. Right there. Take a look at it. Look above her. Look above the thumb. Look where it's already turning blue at the nail beds there. It's starting to come, even her fingernail is already turning. The nail bed is gets the darkest before the rest of it sets in like that. But look above the thumb, right there at the bottom of the sleeve, at how blue her hand is. Look at it. Take a look right there at how blue her hand is. Right? The other hand, you can see the nail bed turning on it too. And you can see that the hand is a bluish color. This is a bluish color. It's not, the color of what her hand should be. You could tell the whole hands are already starting to blue out. Yeah. And she's getting that puffiness. She's getting the puffy, like the puffiness. When someone passes away, they it don't take long. They'll start to kind of look puffy, because no oxygen is going through the body anymore. And the body kind of gets a bloat, um, like a bloating look, kind of like a puffiness. And she's already getting the puffiness, especially especially in the lower extremities. Now, right here, right here, take a look at this. I want you guys to take a look. This is the pictures of Summer's nails. You can see even on her head the blueness. And I also wanted to tell you guys, this picture right here, this is the one the news. This is the picture the news put out. Okay? This is what the news channel put out. I just wanted to make everybody aware of that. I didn't go and get somebody, some creator. No, I went directly to the news and got the picture they used. This is it. That's what you're looking at. But I want you to look at this. Take a look right there. You see him wearing that bracelet the day that Chris was there? He's got on the bracelet. Look below the bracelet right there. Take a look below it. He looks like he's a little bruised right there. Look on the other side. Looks like there's a scratch where the thing's pointing. And look over here. It looks like he's bruised under that bracelet. It looks like he's got some bruising. It looks to me like he has some bruising. And I'm going to tell you, I would think he would with what I'm saying is, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. My opinion is Candace went into Kingsport to pick him up to do a dirty deed. They went over to that swimming hole. She turned the camera off when he went into that water. And my opinion, he went into that water to do a very evil deed. And any time a person goes into the water to do an evil deed, especially, let me tell you something about a child. Summer was a pretty strong child. Even though she was, losing her weight and everything, she was still fighting. This little girl was still fighting to swing on her swing set. She was still fighting to pull herself up and to do, to use the strength that she maintained through all of this. She was fighting. And she was a very strong child. She was a very, very strong child before she started to deteriorate. She was super strong. I mean, this was a little girl that, had muscle mass in her arms. I seen it. I seen it in other pictures. She had definition in her arms where she was, pulling herself up on stuff and playing and she wasn't no, powder puff. This little girl wasn't a powder puff. She was pretty strong. And I'm going to tell you something. If somebody took a child with that kind of strength and had it holding it down, that child's going to lash out. It's going to start thrashing. It's going to start grabbing. It's going to start pounding. It's going to start doing, scratching. It's going to try whatever it can to get out of the hole that someone's got it in. And this little girl's pretty damn strong. We got to remember she's kicking. She's, bringing her hands, as hard as she can. She's, using her, trying to grab and pull, and push. She's trying to, any way she can to survive. Anyone's going to be doing that. But children are fighters. They're fighters, right? A child will, like, if you grab a kid, from behind, go run up behind it and put your arms around it where you got his arms locked, right? That child will throw its head back at you. It will take its feet and try to kick you. It will, it will literally bring its, arms, what little bit of his arms it's got from his elbow down up and start pinching you, scratching you, hitting at you. It'll try to bring his elbows into you. That child will wiggle and it will even lift its body weight off the ground to try to come back on you and come back on you. Children will thrash and carry on. Where some adults won't fight. Some adults will not fight as hard as a child. Because a child ain't listening. It's surviving. Where adults, the person has grabbed a person from behind. An adult will listen. It'll listen to what that person's saying, the person will be like, don't struggle, and children don't listen to that. All they think of is getting out of that hole. And where, a lot of adults, they'll, succumb to the person's voice, where a child won't. You guys know what I'm talking about. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm saying. You teach your children to drop to the ground. You teach your children to do anything they have to do to get out of a situation like that. But the point being is, you don't have to overly teach them too much, because they've already got the built-in instincts of survival anyway, where a lot of adults lose it. A lot of adults, somewhere down the line, they became weak. Just saying. But as you see, and I think that's a little scratch where I circled there. You can put it on your computer. You can, make the picture bigger. You can make the picture bigger. I'm going to post it. I'll post these pictures over on Facebook. And you'll be able to click on them, blow them up, and see them better. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Right there where I've got it circled, it does look like some light scratches left over. This is 2 weeks. This right here, Chris showed up about a week and a half, 2 weeks after Summer was missing. He was already on their porch. Within a couple weeks. And also, I took note that Hunter was wearing long pants and he was wearing a t-shirt that hung down to its damn elbows. He made sure he put a big shirt on that had sleeves hanging down. And I'm going to tell you, if you're bent over trying to do something like that to someone, they're going to also be snatching at your upper body. And he didn't have a shirt on. They're going to be clawing at your shoulders. They're going to be clawing at your upper body. And if you notice, he had all of that covered. The first instinct is to try to if somebody's got you down like that, holding you, your first instinct is to go after their forearms, right here where their hands are, their wrists and their arms. That's the first instinct. And when you see the grip so tight that you can't get that, then you'll start going for you'll try to come up and get their shoulders, get their upper arms, um, you know, up to their face and stuff. And see if if any of that can possibly help you break free and get loose. And I think the upper part would get a lot more damage than because it ain't going to take you long, with the rest and everything, to figure out that you got to do something more. Even if you're a kid, you're going to realize, I got to do something more. So you're going to thrash at the upper arms, the back, the face. And I'm sure she was, and I'm sure she was kicking and everything else down under there. That's my opinion. This sounds graphic, but I'm going to tell you what. It probably was very damn graphic. Um, you know, it, more than likely, yes, very graphic. And but somebody's got to tell it. Somebody's got to tell it in order to understand, you know, what law enforcement should have been looking for. They should have made Hunter come in. They should have picked him up, took him to the police station, and they should have insisted that, you know, Child Protective Services takes him over to the medical center. He should have had to take off, his shirt. He should have had to take off his pants, and a doctor should have been, looked over him to check for scratches, for bruises, for any, they should have scraped his nails for Summer's DNA, right? Why was this not done? Why was his nails not scraped for Summer's DNA? Why was he not looked into for scratches and bruises and everything, that would have corresponded with a drowning? Why was that not done? I don't know. Because if I was the damn sheriff, that would have sure to hell been done. It would have, Don and Candace would have been taken, and Grandis, they'd have been taken down to the station right then and there. Hunter would have been picked up and took to the station right then and there. It ain't going to be tomorrow. Ronnie Lawson should have told Pruitt, you stay here, you take care of this. I'm going to take these officers, and we're taking all of these people down to the station, and we're going to have detectives in there interrogating the fucking hell out of every damn one of them. We're going to be doing tests under their fingernails. We're going to be sending them over to the medical center to see if there's any injuries that could consist with a child's fingernails trying to get free from somebody. We're going to do this. We are going to get this done. And it should have been done. Because anytime you got a missing child, It is a criminal case. It is a criminal case. Until the child is found, it is a criminal case. Law enforcement don't know what happened, so it has to be treated like a criminal case. And the people surrounding this child has got to have their asses pulled in, interrogated, and put through a medical evaluation. So everything is documented. Right? Evidence has to be gathered. Absolutely. But it wasn't done. And as you see, light scratches. It looks like there's some bruising around his wrist. And I'm sure there is. And he had a hand under the table that looked like it may have been, sore. Looked like it may have been, bothering him. Because if you take note, he wasn't using that hand, wasn't flopping it around, wasn't doing anything with it, but trying to hide it under the damn table. Right? He only brought it out to pop on a popper for a minute. And then he stopped that. He was popping and that one hand didn't seem like it was feeling so well. Go watch the video. Because I took time to do it. I took time to take screenshots of the hand under the table that he was holding all fucking weird. Like, like it was in pain, a little pain. I took time. Here we are, right here, right there. Look at that redness. You see how far his sleeve comes down? Look at the redness right there. And look how his arm looks a little swollen. Look how his arm looks a little bit puffy right there, don't it? Put a 1 in the chat if you notice it's right there, this top circle right there. The arm looks a little puffy, if you ask me. And it's red below it as well. It's a little red below it too. Yeah, that's right. And look on his hand right there. Look on his hand. That's consistent with the child's fingernails poking the hell in you. Look right there. He's got 2 places right there. It would be like 2 fingers that really dug into your hand and puffed it up. Look at it right there on his damn hand. Take a look, you guys. See there? Right there on his hand. Yeah. This is something. It would have been really prominent on day 1. It would have been real prominent on day 1. You ever think that might be why Allison sent him in a different direction than where her and Leslie went? Did you notice Allison and Leslie and them went to one ballpark and they sent Hunter off way far to another place with the girlfriend and her mother? Right? Yeah, we did. We missed a lot, Yeah, we did. It's a shame. It's a shame that we wasn't here. It's a shame we wasn't here before Summer's case happened, right? What I'm saying is it's a shame that we didn't have a YouTube channel before Summer went missing. Like, with the West Boys. If we'd have had a YouTube channel, opened one up with the West Boys or something before Summer went missing, we would have thought of all of this. We would have thought to call law enforcement and say, hey, you need to examine this guy. You needed to scrape his nails. You needed to go pick him up right now. We would have been on it. We would have been, doing a lot more for Summer's case and pressing law enforcement a lot better. Um, you know, lesson learned, right? Lesson learned. Um, maybe what we're learning now could help another child in the future, right? Too late for Summer. And that's what's so sad. That's what's so sad is everything was always too late for Summer, right? They were too late to save her, too late to find her, too late for everything, too late to get the evidence to solve her case, too late. Everything was too late for Summer. Summer didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that. Right there he is. Right there he is. And I think Chris was even looking. I think Chris was even looking at his hands. I bet you Chris thought that they should have did what I said too. They should have stripped his shirt, stripped his pants, and had him in his boxers getting looked over from head to toe. And I'm sure they would have found, I'll tell you what, I'm sure they would have found evidence. If they would have scraped under his nails, I bet you 10 to 1 they'd have found Summer's DNA. They'd have found her skin under his fucking nails. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. That's my opinion. And I truly believe it. I truly believe it. With everything I've got, I believe it. I'm going to tell you something. This boy right here was a mother freaking nightmare. A fucking nightmare. An out of control nightmare. That's what that boy was. That boy right there wanted to be a mother freaking gangster. He wanted to destroy someone. And he went after girls. He tried to get a girl with a baby. He tried to attack a girl with a baby in her vehicle. He attacked another girl out on the street of right there where Allison lives on the street, a neighbor girl. He attacked her. And every time you seen him around in pictures with the Wells kids, his ass was always around Summer. Always. He wasn't around the oldest boy. He wasn't around the middle boy. He wasn't around the youngest boy. He was always wherever Summer was. Put a 1 in the chat if you noticed that too. Because I sure the hell did. I sure did. Always focused on Summer. Yes, he was. That is true. That is the God's honest truth. And we all know it. And we all know it. Yeah. Sure was. And there's a lot of people, who are cowards to admit what they think and truly feel. They're cowards. They're cowards to admit it. Cowards don't get into heaven. I'll tell you that now. They just don't. The Bible says cowards will not get into heaven. I read it. Trust me. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't. I'm not a coward. I'm not a coward. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to tell the truth no matter what it costs me. No matter what it costs me. Because it's only going to cost me on this earth. I'm going to live forever with my God when I leave here. I ain't got time to be a coward on this earth. I'm too busy trying to get into the pearly gate.
Did somebody go into the store, or did you go through drive-through again?
Drive-through again.
And where are you sitting at this point?
The same. Well, I was sitting in the middle because she was the person that was wet, and so she had a pillow under her.
Got it. So she's sitting on a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
The baby is.
Yeah.
Summer. Did somebody go into the store, or did you go through drive-through again?
Drive-through again.
And where are you sitting at this point?
The same. Well, I was sitting in the middle because she was the person that was wet, and so she had a pillow under her.
I was sitting in the middle because she was the person that was wet and she had a pillow under her. Right? She's the person that was wet and had a pillow under her. And he wasn't sitting in no damn middle. His ass was sitting, he was riding in the front seat with Candace. He was riding up front with Candace to pick up Grandis. When they picked up Grandis got in the front seat and they moved. And he said they moved the boxes to the back of the truck. And they moved and they put the other box down to the floor. And they moved everything so his ass could get in the back fucking door and sit that ass down right behind Grandis. Summer was on the side, the driver's side, back seat driver's side. And he was in the back seat passenger side. And then he wants to act like he's in the middle because when this picture was taken, they had put the boxes back in the vehicle so they to hide the window because they thought when they got back into Ben Hill, they didn't know that the tree trimmers had knocked off for the day because of some wire coming down. They thought when they came back into Ben Hill, the tree trimmers were going to have their asses there. And they wanted to block that window. So when they pulled in, the tree trimmers wouldn't be able to see in the vehicle. And they took those milk jugs and propped them up against the boxes they had covering the window and propped Summer up on it. That's what the fuck they did. They propped her. And you can tell they propped her because they got the hood of the jacket pulled all the way to the one side that they used because all of them are so fucking overweight. None of their asses could get in there and lift her up and put her in position, the right way. So their big ass was using the hood of her jacket to pull and prop her. And also you could see they pinned her arms so so it couldn't move behind the other milk jug. And you can look between the milk jugs. You can see where they got her pinned in there. You can see where her jacket right there is between these jugs pinned, to keep her pinned in over there. Yeah. They propped her up, right? Yeah. They sure did. Prop me up. Brought me up beside the jukebox, right? When I die. Yeah. But they propped her up. There you go.
Got it. So she's sitting on a pillow. The baby is.
Yeah.
Summer, did somebody go into the store or did you go through drive-through again?
Drive-through again.
And where are you sitting at this point?
The same. Well, I was sitting in the middle because she was the person that was wet, and so she had a pillow under her.
Got it. So
she's the person that was wet. She had a pillow under her. She was wet with a pillow under her. She wasn't dressed in this outfit. He told when we went after swimming, she was the one wet, propped up on a pillow against the driver's side door, right? She was wet on a pillow next to the driver's side door, back door. He was in the middle. No, he wasn't. His ass was over in the seat. No boxes. No boxes. And they went over to Walgreens. They went over to Sonic's. They went down to the store. And at no time was she dressed there. So where did she get put in this outfit? Because they only stopped one other place before this video was taken. And that place was Allison's. That's where the makeup came from. That's where the lipstick, the smear below her lip right there. Right side, bottom lip, smeared lipstick. That's where she was put into this outfit. She was cleaned up, put into this outfit, and maked up and propped up in that dang vehicle before they left. Yeah. Yes, she was. Allison knew Summer was unalived. That's why she said she saw Summer's spirit on her porch, and Summer told her she's home. That's Allison's way of letting you guys know that she knew Summer was no longer with us. Allison was out to protect her boy. She was out to protect Hunter. Allison, in Allison's head, she said, I am not going to let my boy go down for two old bitches that took him off and had him do something sinister. I blame you two old bitches. I don't blame my son. I ain't going to let my son go down for this. And she wanted to protect her. She wanted to be mad at Grandis and Candace instead of her son. She wanted to blame them instead of have her son take self-blame for his part in everything. That's my opinion. I will keep it. And you know what? by protecting this evil boy that was evil enough to, in my opinion, unlive a little girl. She pretty much ended herself by doing it, right? She pretty much ended herself by doing it. Because if her son's evil enough to do this to this little girl, he'll do it to anybody. And Leslie went to Allison and said, if you don't go to the police, if you don't go to law enforcement, I'm going to. You better get to law enforcement. They had a big blow up right out front of Allison's house. And you know what? Leslie comes up unalived, right? Oh, she fell, went into a coma, and died. And then Hunter goes back to mommy. And he goes back to mommy and takes all mommy's money for the rent. Right? And mommy was very pissed off about it. And I can only imagine what she said. I should have told on you. I think I might still end up going to law enforcement and telling on you. And you know what? Mommy ends up, just like Leslie. Just what's the coincidence? What is the odds of two women that had Hunter around ends up unalived exactly the same way? Allison ends up falling, hits her head, goes into a coma, and she passes away. Leslie ends up falling, hits her head, goes into a coma, and passes away. What's the odds of that? You tell me. Last time I checked, 2 and 2 was 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Extremely unlikely that it is not related. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. That's true. That's true.
She's sitting on a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
The baby is.
Yeah.
Summer. Did somebody go into the store, or did you go through drive-through again?
Drive-through again.
And where are you sitting at this point?
The same. Well, I was sitting in the middle because she was the person that was wet, and so she had a pillow under her.
Got it. So she's sitting on a pillow.
There you go. She's sitting on a pillow. All wet. All wet. And I'll tell you, oh, Summer was like a little sister. Summer was like a little sister to Hunter. Right? He was the brother she didn't have. You bet your ass he was a brother she didn't have, because I don't think her brothers would have did such a dirty damn thing to their little sister as he done, right? That's my opinion. I'll keep it.
They want to act like they know it all. That's all. They want to be famous, and they're fucking not. They're
all these people are saying in that group, in that chat right now, is this would be over if the truth came out about Summer. It don't fucking matter about Summer. You're attacking my mother.
Not this. They want to be famous, and they're fucking not.
All these people are saying in that group, in that chat right now, is this would be over if the truth came out about Summer. It don't fucking matter about Summer. You're attacking.
Oh, they care so much about Summer. They care so much. You heard them right there. That's how them motherfuckers really felt about Summer, right? That's how these low-life garbage bags felt about Summer. Right? Seek and you shall find. Well, we went seeking and we found the truth. Right? I'm going to tell you what the problem is with evil. They can only hide that shit for a limited time. They're limited fucking additions to righteousness. They are a limited addition to righteousness. They can act like they're so holier than thou for about 5 damn minutes. And then you get a real look at the true pieces of shit, the true pieces of evil shit they are, right? And I'm going to tell you something. Congratulations, Allison and Andrew, for making and raising a real piece of fucking shit. And honey, I'm not going to say my opinion because that's the fucking truth. That's the truth. You guys raised a real fucking winner right there, didn't you? A real fucking winner. A loser. A loser. That kid's a mother freaking loser, just like his parents. That's what he is. Allison was a loser, and Andrew was a loser. Both of them. And I'm going to tell you what. I don't care. I know Allison is no longer with us. Oh, well. Let me tell you something. I heard the way she talked. She had a filthy mouth. She was a troublemaking, filthy mouthed human being, had herself up there on Ben Hill Road, hanging around with Candace, indulging in some real sick, evil bullshit. She had indulged in real sick, evil bullshit for a long, long time and was still indulging in it when all of this took place. And Andrew, the same way. That Andrew Hilt, I'm going to tell you what, that mother freaker looks like a demon, acts like a demon, moves around like a demon. I just assume he is a demon. Right? Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, wobbles like a duck, is probably a duck. There you go. Disgusting human beings. Matter of fact, Andrew just joined up with one of his other sons to bully another child. Right? What damn adult, what adult goes along with their child to bully another child? Ain't you supposed to tell your children not to be doing stuff like that? Ain't you supposed to be the voice of reason in situations like this? Ain't you supposed to bring people together instead of tearing them apart? Last time I checked, it's better to have friends than foes. Last time I checked, intelligent people do not bully anyone. And they refuse to be bullied. Right? Last time I checked. Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing that saved Allison before she ended up unalived was that boyfriend. Was a boyfriend she had in there. She had a boyfriend in there that, was able to overpower Hunter. Right? Matter of fact, Hunter was going at Allison, and that boyfriend had to step in and put Hunter's ass out the door. And Hunter had to go spend the night somewhere else because the boyfriend wasn't going to allow him to, him to treat his mom that way. And Allison should have took heed right then and there and not let that boy back in the house. Allison felt like, oh, Hunter did an evil thing to someone else. Well, if they'll do an evil thing to someone else, they'll do an evil thing to you. Let me tell you something. I am smart enough to know if my child was evil enough to unlive someone else, they are evil enough to unlive me. And therefore, I'm not going to have or trust or want that child anywhere near me. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this is not my child anymore. I'm going to say I don't know you. I do not know you. And it would be the truth. It would honestly be the truth. Because you were not raised that way. I don't know who you are. And whoever the hell you are, I do not want you in my house. I do not want you around me. And I would have turned my son in. Matter of fact, I would have called the police to that house that day. If somebody brought an unlive child in my house, soaking wet, expecting to clean it up and redress it and get away with doing something that evil to a child, I would have called law enforcement. I would have told them they better get there real quick because these people just done something super sinister and brought it in my door. And I wanted all of it out my door. And I want it out my door now. They wouldn't have got away with that. Hell no. And if my child had a hand in it, my child's going out the door with them. And you know what? I think if Allison would have told the truth, she'd still be alive. I think Leslie would still be alive. That's my opinion. Put a 1 in the chat if you think they'd have still been alive too. Because I honestly do. Yeah. I think they'd still be here breathing. I really do. Ruby says nope. Well, I'll tell you, Ruby. I agree to disagree. I agree to disagree. You know something we don't, Ruby? Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. On Leslie. Leslie went first. Leslie had been at Allison's house. They had a great big blow up out front of Allison's. And Leslie told Allison, Leslie found something out while Hunter was staying with her. Hunter, Allison's kids got taken away. After law enforcement took the Wells kids, they went and took Marlena Crawford's daughter, removed her. She started living with Marlena's sister. Then they removed Allison's kids. Not True, because True was too old, but they removed Hunter and put him with Leslie. They removed Bear and put Bear with Leslie's daughter and her husband. And Allison lost her kids. Well, Leslie found something out, and she went to Allison and said, if you don't go to law enforcement, I'm going to. And the next thing we knew, the next thing we heard was Allison or Leslie was passed away. Everybody's like, what? Because she had just been at Allison's house going to go to the cops if Allison didn't. And then all of a sudden she's unalived. And they said that she was sick, that she fell, she hit her head, she went into a coma, and she died. Okay. Must have been the big C word or something. Then later they placed Hunter back with Allison. And Hunter and Allison was having a lot of problems. The boyfriend actually kicked Hunter out of the house because he was disrespecting Allison, trying to fight with Allison. And Hunter couldn't overpower him. But the boyfriend left, and Hunter came back into Allison's house and stole all of her rent money and went and got tattoos. And Allison was very upset. And that she was so upset, she told Hunter, you know what a mother would tell him. I should have told on you. I should have listened to Leslie. I should have told on you. And you know what? All of a sudden, Allison was sick. Allison fell. Allison hit her head. Allison went into a coma, and Allison died. Just like Leslie. Just like Leslie. And I heard Allison was thinking about reporting Hunter to law enforcement because he stole her money. Leslie was going to report Hunter to law enforcement. Both of these women were going to report him to law enforcement, and they both end up dead the exact same way. Make that make sense, baby. Make that make sense. And get this, both of them were cremated. So it ain't like you ain't able to exhume them and go over everything again. Now they do, I don't know how thorough the hospitals are in that area, but law enforcement could get the records to Leslie and the records to Allison and do a comparison. And they might be able to do something, put some charges or something up with that. I don't know. I don't know how much they'd be able to do with it. But they might be able to do something. They may be able to do something. But you don't have a person in your house. Don't have a person in your house that is that evil. Don't do it.
In that chat right now is this would be over if the truth came out about Summer. It don't fucking matter about Summer. You're attacking.
It don't matter about effing Summer, right? It don't matter about effing Summer. There you go. But let me give you a little more insight on Hunter. Right here. Right here. This I'm going to give you something before this. Right here. This is Hunter's girlfriend. I need me a real man. Someone who doesn't doubt my baptism. And someone who doesn't lie on me. someone who doesn't call me names, someone that will just be right for me and not doubt my church 100%. Someone who will go to church with me on Sunday. This is his girlfriend talking about Hunter. Hunter was doubting, trying to make her doubt. She got baptized, received the Lord, and he was trying to make her doubt what she had done. Like, you didn't get God. You didn't get, you didn't get eternal life. You didn't get righteous. You didn't get your eyes open like you're supposed to. He was, you went down a dry center and came up a wet one. Right? That's what Hunter is telling this little girl who had got baptized and found a better life. Right? Well, this is her mother. This is the girl's mother. I'm sorry you keep going through this, but don't let anyone doubt our religion and what we choose to grow our relationship with God and Jesus. I'm super proud of you taking the steps with me and our walk with Jesus. You will find someone in our church to love you, for you, and to keep up the great work. And you are a good mama. Right here. I love you, she told her daughter. She's telling her daughter, find someone in the church. Get away from this fucking loser. Get away from this dangerous loser. Right? Her mother is trying to save her from this evilness. I'll call you back. My baby daddy calling. I wish I never had a kid with you. This is Hunter. This is Hunter. Listen. Right here. You so happy with your whatever, so go live with the world. He's telling her, you're so happy with the people around you, the other people, go live with them, go ahead, if I can't suck up your every minute, run your life, get you to be as evil as I am, then you just go do what you need to do, right? Yeah, this is the trash that, that he's talking. And then, stupid, I got pregnant. Had to block out those words, you guys. Had to block out those words. Mothers like you deserve life in jail. This is what he's telling his mom, his baby's mama. Mothers like you deserve life in jail. He's trying to groom her into believing she's less than, right? That she's less than. He's not a builder, he's a destroyer. Manipulation. You lucky. I'm there. Right there. He says, I beat your ass and take my daughter. He's threatening her. He's threatening her right there, right? This is Hunter threatening this little girl up, threatening the child. Here it is. I don't want to talk to you. I'd rather talk to a headstone, right? I'd rather talk to a headstone. Did you see that? Is this little girl in danger? I believe she is. I believe she is. Right? Hold on. I think I saw a comment somewhere here. Yeah, I hope she did too. Um, you know what? Uh, Lorraine, I don't know. Come on, PG. The police won't exhume the grave site where you think Summer is. Do you really think the police is going to? I don't know. I don't. You know what? For Summer's sake, for Summer's sake, I don't give up. I don't give up. You know, I don't give up my faith in God. I don't give up my faith in in humans, even on this earth. Um, I just don't give up on people, and I sure don't give up on Summer. I don't know. You know, they might. They might. You don't know. You don't know. You know, it just takes one person to do the right thing. Just one person within that law enforcement to start looking, start digging, and start doing the right thing. And sometimes it shocks you. Sometimes 5 years down the road, sometimes 10 years down the road, that police officer shows up, right? That person starts to look into stuff and that person solves the case. I mean, it's happened many times with missing children's cases where, where some officer just hears about it, decides to do some detective work on it, and ends up solving it. So, yeah, it's very possible that they will. I'm not going to say they won't. And I know cold case would. I know for a fact cold case will. So, I'm not going to give up on Summer's case being solved. Hell no. Too many people want it solved. It's it's like the Casey Anthony case. Summer's case is really blowed up out here. People all over the world know about this little girl. And a case this huge, absolutely. At some point, someone is going to start poking, and they're going to start prodding, and they're going to start asking questions, and they're going to get it solved within that police department. Some detective, some officer, somebody is going to do what needs to be done, because God will put them there to do it. I truly believe that. He put all of us here. Why do I think he can't put somebody like us there? Sure he can. Oh, he is mean. Absolutely. And he is mentally challenged. That's true. Yeah, I hope so too, girl. I really do. I think that could happen. They could get somebody in there, and they could solve it up. Amen. That's right. See, that's right. Oh yeah. I wish the little girl all the best as well, Anna. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do believe God will answer. I so believe that he will answer. Summer's case really deserves to be solved. And I think God knows that all of our hearts are in the right place for this little girl. And we just want the evil to be removed from our presence here on earth in order to make this, you know, this life here safer for other people. Um, you know, the way right there, I'd rather talk to a headstone. I'm going to tell you, I hope God does intervene and does what it takes to prosecute these people and put them in prison where they belong. Because I think there's other people besides Summer, besides Leslie, besides Allison. I believe there's other people still at risk of being unalived at the hands of the same person that I believe unalived those three. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. That's just my opinion. And I hope God does intervene, because those other people who are at risk of becoming a Summer, a Leslie, an Allison, they're innocent too. And they don't deserve to be taken out of this world at the hands of an evildoer that has no right on living anyone, didn't ever have a right to take someone else's life. And their cowardly ass wouldn't want someone taking theirs. And Hunter is a coward. He is a coward because when he was talking on his dad's channel, running his mouth, running his soot, his big pie hole, if you remember, he was telling somebody, if they Benny Keys, if you want to find me, you know where to find me. And I'll call my boys. I'll call my boys up. Remember that? Put a one in the chat if you remember him saying, I'll call my boys. He's a fucking coward. Why you gotta call your boys? If I told Benny Keys, hey, you know where to find me, come find me, Benny. I ain't calling my boys. I said, come find me, Benny. I didn't say come find my boys. Right? Come find me. Because I ain't a fucking coward. Benny could come find PG. Not my boys. Not my homies. Right? But Hunter said, come find my boys, my homies. Because he's a fucking coward. Dude, handle it yourself. You ain't man enough to handle it yourself. You're able to attack a bunch of women, but you can't handle Benny Keys? Come on. What the hell? Just saying. Just saying. He's a coward. He don't want to lose his life. Right? And it's people, it's cowards like that. It's cowards that don't want to lose their life, that go around wanting to unlive other people. Right? Oh, you'll go unlive someone else, but you're a fucking coward to be unlived? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. You ain't no hard motherfucker. You're a fucking yellow belly piece of shit. That's what you are. You're no thug. You're no gangster. You're a freaking coward. A piece of trash. A damn sissy. That's what the hell you are. Just saying. People like that always seeking to get somebody else to do their dirty work. Always seeking to pick on people weaker than them. Always seeking to overpower someone they're sure they're able to overpower. A child, an old person, a little woman, a little lady. But they ain't willing to try to overpower Benny Keys. Right? Just saying. There you go. I think I proved what this boy is. I proved tonight that law enforcement just didn't do their job, in my opinion. They didn't handle the case the way that case needed to be handled in order to be solved. Case closed, right? Case closed. It's just the way it is. I wish they would have did more. I wish they'd have did more.
So where are you?
Because this little girl right here, she deserved better. She deserved better by that church who could have saved her. She deserved better by the people living in and around that community that could have saved her. She deserved better by CPS who had their asses up there on many occasions that could have saved her, and they didn't. They didn't do their damn job. They didn't save them babies. She deserved better from law enforcement who should have done more, could have done more, and had this case solved, in my opinion, but didn't. This little girl was not a failure. She got failed by everyone that could have helped her. God bless her. She was beautiful. She was too good for them son of a bitches. And God decided to take her home. He decided to take her back. Because this world and the people around her wasn't good enough for this child. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Because there is so many children who were too good for this world. And God just seems to be taking them back. Because this world didn't know how to treat them and protect them. And that's a shame. It's a shame. I'm going to tell you, if God gifts you with a child, hold on to it. Watch over it. Don't be afraid to be a helicopter mom. Don't be afraid to be a leeching granny. Don't be afraid to do what it takes to protect your children at all cost. Because this is an evil world out there. And I'm going to tell you something. Children are no longer respected. Old people are no longer respected. The real truth is, nobody is truly respected. Life is not respected in this world anymore. People do not value life, nor do they value children, old people, or anything in between. You have evil out there that sees everything as a parasite because they are a parasite. Parasites ain't only on Ben Hill Road. They are not just in Kingsport, Tennessee. These parasites are all over the world. And they have no damn respect or morals or anything else for anyone. You are living in the last days. You are living in the days of Noah. You are living in the days where everything goes. And evil is seen as righteousness, and righteousness is being seen as evil. The truth irritates demons. And that's why you got so many haters. That's why it's hard to get along in this world. Protect the people you love. Don't let your children out of your sight for 5 minutes, not even, or even a second. Watch your children like you would your pocketbook. You can replace your pocketbook. You can replace everything in it. You can't replace your child. You better learn to watch your children, because evil is everywhere. And that evil seeks to destroy whatever it can. I'm going to tell you, girl, I got 5 too, Anna. I got 5 too. And I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm going to tell you something. Little man was a surprise. He was a real surprise in my life. Right? I wasn't expecting. But I'm going to tell you something. I love my baby with everything I got. And I'll tell you now, I would protect him at all cost. I don't care. You will have to go through me to get to any of my kids. And that won't be easy. Trust and believe that. It won't be easy. I ain't saying it. I know it. And that's the way every parent should be. Every parent on the face of this earth should be willing to step in front of its child and take whatever comes to save that child. And how there's parents out here who can destroy their child, I don't even know. I don't even know. And you know, the saddest thing is 9 times out of 10, it is the parents or someone the parents knew, right? 9 times out of 10, it is the caretakers or someone the caretakers are dragging in and around the child. That's sad. That's sad. 1% is by strangers. 1%. Athena's case. A lot of buzz on Athena's case here lately. The FedEx driver, right? The FedEx driver that took Athena and did the evil deed that he done. I guess them trucks have surveillance, and they saw this little girl. You could plainly see this little girl in that truck. Right in that truck. And no one helped her. No one did nothing. What good is it to have surveillance if nobody's watching it? What good is it to have surveillance if you don't have no one watching and monitoring that surveillance in order to get quick help if something like that happened? I don't know. This is a really fucked up world that we're living in, right? We got all this technology, but it ain't saving nobody. It's like a big bunch of false security, some mind manipulating bullshit. Everybody still has to protect herself, right? We all still have to protect ourselves. Unbelievable. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. All right, you guys. PG's going to get out of here. Tomorrow is, come on, everybody say it. Everybody say it. Tomorrow is Friday. All right. Happy dance. Happy dance. Come on, everybody. Break the move. Break the move. Get down. Spin around. Turn around. Go to town. Boot, scoop, boogie. It is Friday. Coming into Friday, baby. Yes. Yes. PG is excited. I am excited. I'm not going to act like I ain't. Tomorrow is Friday. Man, when I hear that whistle blow, let me tell you something. I'm going to pick up my lunch bucket. I'm going to go home. Pick up my lunch bucket, go home. Right? I'm already home. I work from home. But I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. I'm going to enjoy seeing all the rooms in my house instead of the few that I see all week. Right? I'm going to enjoy the Sabbath. Absolutely. The day of rest. I'm going to enjoy it, y'all. And I'm going to enjoy the weekend. So you guys enjoy it too. You hear me? That's an order. I'm giving you guys an order. Enjoy this weekend. Do some stuff that you want to do. Take control. Let it be about you for once instead of everyone else. Right? Tell them this weekend belongs to you. Do what you want to do. We get our life controlled every day, usually 365 days a year. This weekend, no control. They can watch what we want to watch. They can do what we want to do. This is our weekend. We're going to take charge of it. But we're going to be back here Saturday night, God willing. And we're going to talk about these cases again. We're going to talk about more stuff that we're able to find that might be able to help these missing children. Amen. We're going to keep going just like we've been going and doing what we've been doing because it works. It works. And at some point, someone's going to listen. They're going to listen. They're going to do what's right. And they're going to solve these cases. Keep those prayers going up. Keep them going up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells, Michael Vaughn, Jack and Lily, Sebastian Rogers. Keep them going up for Genesis, Nancy. Keep those prayers going up for all of these children. And most of all, keep those prayers going up that these children all get the justice that they deserve against the evil beings that deserve to be in prison, not out here walking around putting other humans at risk. And keep those prayers going up for one another. Because I know there's people in here needing prayer. I'm able to feel it. There's some people in here tonight really needing some prayer, hoping to get some prayer. Let us be the ones praying for them. Let us be the ones sending those prayers up. I don't know who you are. All I know is you're needing prayer. And I know that we'll be sending them up in the name of Jesus. Amen. I don't know what you need, what you want, but I know God does. And trust me. In the name of his son, Jesus Christ, he'll answer. That's how easy it was to pray for you. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much love.